Before we jump into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about why communication skills are so crucial. Think about it. Every single day, we're communicating with others, whether it's a quick chat with a coworker, a heartfelt conversation with a friend, or even texting someone back. But here's the thing. Communication isn't just about talking. It's a two-way street that involves speaking, listening, and truly understanding. Let's break it down. Speaking is about more than just saying words. It's about expressing your ideas clearly and confidently so the other person understands your message. Listening, on the other hand, is more than just hearing. It's about really tuning into what the other person is saying, both in their words and their tone. And then there's understanding, which ties it all together. It's about reading between the lines, interpreting not only what's being said, but also the nonverbal cues like body language or facial expressions to grasp the full meaning of the message. Now that we've got the basics down, let's dive into some practical tips that'll help you become a communication superstar. Tip number 1. You might be thinking, wait, isn't communication all about talking? Well, here's a surprise. Great communication actually begins with great listening. Active listening is like your secret weapon in the communication game. A skill that doesn't just help you hear words, but helps you truly connect with the person you're speaking to. So how do you master this ninja-level skill? Let's break it down. First, give the speaker your full attention. This means putting your phone away. It's about being present in the moment and showing the other person they have your focus. Second, use your body language to show you're engaged. A simple nod, steady eye contact, or even a slight lean forward can make the speaker feel heard and valued. Third, don't interrupt. I know you've got some brilliant points ready to jump out, but hold on to them until the other person finishes speaking. It's about giving them the space to share their thoughts completely. Finally, once they're done, paraphrase what you heard. This could be as simple as saying, so, if I understand correctly, you're saying, not only does this confirm that you were really listening, but it also clears up any potential misunderstandings. Active listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding the full picture, the emotions, the context, and the underlying meaning. Think of it as being a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're piecing together the clues to fully understand the other person. Master this skill, and you'll find your conversations are deeper, more meaningful, and much more effective. Listening might not seem like the flashy part of communication, but it's the foundation that makes everything else work. Tip number 2. When it's your turn to speak, the goal is to make your message clear and easy to understand. Imagine explaining something to a 5-year-old. Not because adults need to be spoken to like children, but because simplicity is key. Clear communication doesn't need to be overly complicated or loaded with jargon. Instead, focus on delivering your ideas in a straightforward, relatable way that anyone can follow. Think of it like telling a good story. You want your audience engaged and understanding the message without having to work too hard to piece it together. Start by using simple language. Skip the fancy words or technical terms unless they're absolutely necessary. And if they are, take a moment to explain them. Speaking plainly doesn't make you sound less intelligent. It makes you more approachable and ensures your point gets across. Stick to the point by avoiding unnecessary tangents, no matter how tempting it might be to chase an interesting side note. Wandering off topic can confuse your listener and make it harder for them to grasp the main idea. Before you even start speaking, take a moment to mentally organize your thoughts. A little preparation can go a long way in making sure your message is structured and flows smoothly. Think of your message like a sandwich. The content is the good stuff in the middle, but it's only enjoyable if it's well organized. Overloading your point with too much information can make it fall apart, just like a sandwich that's too stuffed. By keeping things clear, concise, and focused, you'll not only hold your listeners' attention, but also ensure they walk away understanding exactly what you wanted to say. Tip number 3. Pop quiz time. What percentage of communication do you think is nonverbal? If your guess was a lot, you're absolutely right. Body language often speaks louder than words, sending messages about your confidence, attitude, and emotions without you even realizing it. People pick up on these cues instantly, so paying attention to your nonverbal communication can take your interactions to the next level. It's like having a secret weapon for making a great impression. Here are a few body language tips to help you boost your communication game. First, Stand or sit up straight. Good posture not only makes you look more confident and engaged, but it can also help you feel that way too. Slouching, on the other hand, can give off an impression of disinterest or uncertainty. Next, focus on making appropriate eye contact. It's a balancing act. Too much can feel intense or even uncomfortable, but too little might make you seem uninterested or untrustworthy. Aim for steady, natural eye contact that shows you're present and paying attention. Hand gestures are another powerful tool for emphasizing your points, but moderation is key. A few purposeful movements can add energy and clarity to your message, but flailing your arms like you're directing traffic can be distracting. And let's not forget the easiest and most impactful gesture of all: smiling. A genuine smile can make you appear more approachable and instantly put others at ease. It's a simple yet effective way to create a positive connection. Think of your body as a billboard, advertising your attitude and emotions. Whether you realize it or not, you're always sending a message, so why not make it a good one? With a little awareness and practice, your body language can become a powerful ally in conveying confidence, warmth, and engagement. Tip number 4. Here's a little secret. Even the most charismatic speakers you admire weren't born that way. They practiced. A lot. The good news? You can do the same. Communication is a skill, just like riding a bike or learning to cook. The more effort you put into practicing, the more confident and natural you'll become. Sure, it might feel awkward at first, but every step forward is progress. And before you know it, you'll be cruising through conversations with ease. There are plenty of fun and effective ways to practice your communication skills. One simple method is talking to yourself in the mirror. Yes, it feels a little silly at first, but it's a great way to observe your expressions, posture, and gestures as you speak. Another powerful tool is recording yourself. Whether it's a voice recording or a video, listening or watching it back can be eye-opening. It might feel cringeworthy, but it helps you pinpoint areas for improvement, like your tone, pace, or clarity. If you're ready to step out of your comfort zone, consider joining a public speaking club or taking an improv class. These settings are designed to help you grow quickly in a supportive environment. It might feel scary at first, but you'll gain invaluable skills and confidence along the way. You can also practice with friends or family, people who'll give you honest and maybe hilariously blunt feedback. It's a great way to fine-tune your approach in a relaxed and familiar setting. The key is to keep at it. The more you practice, the more natural and effortless good communication will feel. Just like riding a bike, it might be a bit wobbly at the start, but with persistence, you'll find your balance and glide through conversations like a pro. Remember, every charismatic speaker started somewhere. You're simply on your way to joining their ranks. Tip number 5. Here's where communication can get a little tricky. Not every situation calls for the same approach. The way you talk to your best friend is likely very different from how you'd address your boss, unless, of course, your boss is your best friend, in which case, lucky you. Adapting your communication style to fit the context is essential for building strong connections and ensuring your message lands the way you intend. It's all about understanding the nuances of the situation and tailoring your tone, language, and approach accordingly. Start by considering the setting. A formal meeting requires a polished and professional tone, while a casual chat allows for a more relaxed and conversational style. Next, think about the relationship you have with your audience. Are you speaking to a close friend, a colleague, or someone you've just met? The level of familiarity often dictates the degree of formality. Cultural background is another important factor to keep in mind, as different cultures may have varying expectations around communication styles, levels of directness, or even body language. Lastly, consider the age group you're addressing. Communicating with a teenager, for example, might call for a more relatable and laid-back approach, while speaking to an older audience may require a touch more formality or deference. By adapting your communication style to fit these factors, you demonstrate respect for your audience and increase the chances that your message will be well received. It's like being a communication chameleon, shifting your tone and approach to suit the environment while staying true to your core message. This flexibility not only helps you connect with people on a deeper level, but also makes you a more effective and versatile communicator overall. Tip number 6. If you want to make your message truly memorable, tell a story. Humans are naturally wired to connect with stories. They engage our emotions, capture our attention, and help us make sense of complex ideas. Facts and figures might be important, but they don't stick in our minds the way a well-told story does. By weaving storytelling into your communication, you can transform dry information into something compelling and impactful. Start by using personal anecdotes to illustrate your points. Sharing an experience from your own life not only makes your message relatable, but also helps build a connection with your audience. People are more likely to trust and engage with someone who opens up and shares authentic moments. If personal anecdotes aren't an option, try creating analogies to explain complex ideas. Comparing something unfamiliar to something your audience already understands can make even the most complicated concepts feel accessible and clear. Another powerful tool is painting a picture with your words. Use descriptive language to bring your story to life, making it vivid and easy for your listener to imagine. Instead of saying, "I had a tough day," you might say, "By 5 p.m., I felt like a deflated balloon after a chaotic juggling act of meetings and deadlines." The more sensory details you include, the more immersive your story becomes. Remember, every good story has a structure, a beginning, middle, and end. Start by setting the scene and introducing the challenge or situation. Take your listener on a journey through the unfolding events, and wrap it up with a clear takeaway or lesson. This framework ensures your story flows naturally and leaves a lasting impression. Whether you're trying to persuade, educate, or inspire, storytelling can turn your message into something unforgettable. Tip number 7. In music, the spaces between notes, the rests, are just as vital as the notes themselves, adding depth, rhythm, and emotion to a piece. The same principle applies to communication. Silence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Pauses can be a powerful tool in your conversational toolkit, adding clarity and impact to your message. Instead of rushing through your words, take a moment to pause. It can make all the difference. Pausing gives you time to gather your thoughts, which is especially useful if you're feeling nervous or trying to articulate a complex idea. It also allows your listener to process what you've said, giving them the mental space to absorb your message and reflect on it. Strategic pauses can even add emphasis and drama, making your key points stand out. For example, pausing before delivering an important statement creates a sense of anticipation, drawing your audience in. Pauses can also help you avoid relying on filler words like and which can undermine your confidence and distract from your message. When you embrace silence, you project calmness and control, showing that you're thoughtful and intentional in your communication. Think of pauses as the punctuation marks in your spoken sentences. They give structure, rhythm, and meaning to your words. Just like a well-placed period or comma, a pause can enhance the flow of your conversation and ensure your message resonates. So the next time you're speaking, don't be afraid to pause. It's not an interruption. It's an essential part of the conversation, giving your words the space they need to truly shine. Tip number 8. Communication isn't just about expressing yourself. It's also about listening, learning, and drawing out valuable insights from others. Asking good questions is an art form that can transform a conversation, making it more engaging, meaningful, and productive. The right questions don't just help you gather information, they show the other person that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say, building trust and connection along the way. One of the most effective techniques is to use open-ended questions. Instead of asking something that can be answered with a simple yes or no, try questions that invite detailed responses. For example, instead of saying, "Did you enjoy the event?" you could ask, "What did you enjoy most about the event?" This approach encourages the other person to share more of their thoughts and experiences. Follow-up questions are another powerful tool. They show that you're actively listening and curious to learn more. If someone mentions a challenge they faced, you might ask, "What was the most surprising part of that experience?" These kinds of questions can deepen the conversation and uncover new layers of insight. It's also important to steer clear of leading questions that push for a specific answer, as they can feel manipulative or insincere. Instead, aim for neutrality and let the other person's perspective shine through. Hypothetical questions are great for sparking creativity and exploring possibilities. For instance, you might ask, if time and money weren't an issue, How would you approach this project? These types of questions can open the door to innovative ideas and solutions. Think of questions as keys. They unlock doors to new information, deeper understanding, and stronger connections. The more thoughtful and intentional your questions, the more meaningful your conversations will become. So take the time to craft killer questions and watch as they transform your communication into a powerful tool for discovery and connection. Tip number 9. You've probably heard the saying, "It's not what you say, it's how you say it." And it's true. Your tone of voice and emotional state can completely transform the meaning of your words. A simple phrase like, "That's great," can come across as genuine excitement, sarcasm, or indifference, depending on how you deliver it. That's why paying attention to your tone is so crucial in communication. It's the seasoning that brings your message to life. Start by being mindful of your emotional state before engaging in important conversations. If you're feeling stressed, frustrated, or distracted, it can unintentionally seep into your tone and give the wrong impression. Take a moment to check in with yourself and adjust as needed. Practicing speaking in different tones can also be eye-opening. Try saying the same sentence in a cheerful, serious, or sarcastic tone, and notice how the meaning shifts. This awareness can help you consciously choose a tone that aligns with your message. For written communication, tone can be even trickier to convey. A message meant to be lighthearted might come across as curt or dismissive without the right context. Reading your message out loud before hitting send is a great way to catch unintended tone and ensure your words match your intention. And when you're unsure, defaulting to a warm and friendly tone is usually a safe bet. It fosters positive interactions and makes your message more approachable. Think of your tone as the seasoning in your communication recipe. The right amount enhances the flavor of your message, making it engaging and impactful. But too much, or the wrong kind, can completely change the dish and leave a bad taste. By being intentional with your tone, you can ensure your words are received just as you intend, creating more meaningful and effective conversations. Tip number 10. Becoming a great communicator isn't a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong journey. No matter how skilled you are, there's always room for growth and new ways to refine how you connect with others. Communication is an art and a science that evolves with practice, reflection, and a willingness to learn. Embracing this mindset ensures that you'll continue to improve and adapt, no matter where life takes you. One of the best ways to grow is by asking for feedback from people you trust. Whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, others often see things in our communication style that we might miss. Their insights can be invaluable, even if they highlight areas where you struggle. It's important to be open to constructive criticism. It might sting a little at first, but it's one of the most effective ways to improve. Instead of taking it personally, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Another great strategy is to observe skilled communicators. Whether it's a speaker you admire, a mentor, or a friend who always seems to know the right thing to say, pay attention to what makes them so effective. Is it their tone, their ability to listen, or the way they tell stories? By studying their techniques, you can incorporate those elements into your own style. Staying curious and continually learning is also essential. Dive into books on communication, watch inspiring TED Talks, or even take a course to sharpen specific skills like public speaking or conflict resolution. Each new insight adds another tool to your communication toolkit, helping you become more confident and versatile. Think of your communication skills as a garden. With regular care, attention, and a little patience, they'll continue to grow and flourish. Sometimes you'll need to prune old habits or plant new seeds of knowledge, but the effort is always worth it. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to practice, learn, and get a little better. Keep nurturing your growth, and you'll see your skills blossom over time. So there you have it. Remember, becoming a great communicator doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill that you'll develop over time with practice and patience. But trust me, the payoff is huge. Better communication leads to better relationships, more opportunities, and a smoother ride through life. Until next time.